Hello guys and welcome back to the channel, and as I've said in last video, I bring you now the review of this week's chapter, two chapters of the seven deadly sins, of their names. First, 179 Pursuit of Hope and 180 Wandering Knight. Now I gotta say, of these two chapters, the second one was the most impressive because that ending was like, what? I mean, it was just, I don't even know. I'll talk about it when we get there. 179 begins with a nice color page of Harter fighting against the white demons. And then we see that page of action, and we see now a color page. Very cool. I love the color that the author gives to. I just love the way he colors, or she. I don't know. I've said he a lot, but I am starting to wonder if it's a he or a she. I'll have to check that out. And then the chapter begins with Harter being able to defeat a white glass demon, but he falls tired to the ground. I don't know if he did it alone or if all four of them combined did it. I mean, the swordsman was able to defeat one on his own, so I believe Arthur was able to also defeat one on its own. I don't know if we already knew the name of the swordsman, but we now find that the name of the swordsman is Nanashi. So I hope to see more of this character because he's very cool looking. He reminds me of Samurai Jack. It is Samurai Jack, isn't it? Yes, it's an old show that used to air on Cartoon Network a long time ago. I heard they are going to reboot it now. I wonder how that will go. I'm afraid to know, in fact. Reboots of old cartoons usually don't go well. Anyway, we now know that that cat on on Arthur's shoulder is much more than it meets the eye, because Nanashi says, as long as you have that cat on your side, you shall not stare death in the eye. At first I was like, okay, maybe the cat is a lucky charm or something. Maybe Death will look at his cuddly cute eyes and he'll be like, oh, I can't kill this guy. Look how cute the cat is. But no, the cat talks. I just, because while they are running from the demons, Arthur says that it needs to be stronger. And the cat goes like, yeah, I'll also feel better if you got stronger too. And I like, what? The cat just spoke? Even Nanashi is like, the cat gives me the creeps. It's just awesome. But we find nothing else on that, because the chapter just rambles on about with some people looking for a holy knight. And we see that holy knight around the mountains. It's just, even this, the first chapter of this week, 179, was not a weak chapter, but nothing really happened. We just see the Holy Knight going on a nostalgia journey, and then he sees what he thinks is a demon, a shadow in the distance with white eyes, with a tower emerging from his back. What sort of terrifying demon is this? Darkness. The Holy Knight then awaits in the Boarhead's bed. What else could it be? Come on. That scene was pretty cool. He's like looking at it. Oh my god, what is that? It's a demon. No, it's just Ox Mama. No problem at that. And then we find out that, to my surprise, the Boarhead is still in service. That's pretty cool. Elizabeth and Hawk are taking care of the Boarhead. And the chapter ends with Elizabeth delivering 5 mugs of ale to some very happy soldiers, I guess, or just townsfolk. And then begins the next chapter, which is really mind-blowing. And as the cover says, The threat of demons? Big deal. Hawk Mama just goes around the world without a care on her back. Chapter 180, The Wandering Knight. Now, we keep seeing some action in the Boarhead. We think that Elizabeth might actually grew a little bit more responsible, but no, she just flips over and the pie gets smashed in the customer's face. But they keep, oh, come on, we can't get mad at her. She's so cute. Come on, we know that you put a lot of effort, but so we don't mind creepy little old mans. And it just keeps on. The guy just keeps on looking like, is she Princess Elizabeth, really? And then they realize he's there, and Hawk's like, hey, don't give her that Meliodas. Okay, he's talking about the clothes, the clothes that were made for the satisfaction of Meliodas and Meliodas only. I guess that Hawk is now defending Meliodas' side on this. So it just keeps going that the Boarhead is working because some people just don't want to live cowering the rest of their lives. If there's a chance for them to get a merry time and to enjoy themselves for a little while, they'll take it. And that's what the Boarhead is distributing right now. More than ale, more than food to the face, happiness and hope to the people that come to it. And after a little bit, all of them go away, and the Holy Knight stays a little longer and tastes Elizabeth's soup, which its appearance is not very good. But he keeps on spitting the soup. They find out who he is. A holy knight named Gorgeous. I don't remember this character. He says he's from the Weird Fangs. But oh yeah, the Weird Fangs weren't those the guys in the Bastard Dungeon prison? Yeah, those were the Weird Fangs, weren't they? But I don't think we've ever seen the guy without his mask, have we? I didn't when I was reading a chapter, I didn't even realize who he was, who the Weird Fangs were. I knew I had heard that name somewhere, but I didn't remember it was from Bastard Dungeon. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. I'll have to check who the guy is. But even though he says that they don't, they need to see him as an enemy, and they like, but we don't. No, we don't. So they comfort him. Talk goes on. We see that Elizabeth is somewhat more caring and more mature, in a sense that she needs to do. She tells him that he needs to do whatever he thinks is the most correct. He needs to share everything with people he likes, and that she's doing the same. She's sharing with the customers her happiness, and she's receiving happiness from them, has to not to fall into sadness for what we see next, which is Meliodas in bed, completely, well, dead. After all, he's dead, so not much to go on that. I don't know if we can say that he's dead or he's in a coma-like state. So yes, he's there. We see the wounds, what I believe are the wounds of the seven hearts that were torn apart from him. But now, after we see Hawk cleaning the floor, someone approaches. An armored person. And we learn about rumors of a wandering knight who wears a suit of shiny armor. This reminds me a lot of the beginning of the series, when there was a rumor that a big guy in armor from the seven deadly sins was roaming the land and scaring people, and it turned out to be Elizabeth. It's I believe this kind of marks a new beginning for the, not a reboot, but it kind of marks the beginning of something new. For me, it thinks it's a spiritual succession, so to say. And so the wandering knight enters the boar's head and goes towards Meliodas' room. And he reveals himself to be someone completely unexpected. The former captain, when I say former in like 10 years, he was supposed to be dead, former captain of the Holy Knights Zaratras. I went bananas when I read his name, when I realized who he was. This guy is just the reason that the seven deadly sins were framed at the beginning, not at the beginning of the series, but he's the reason. Well, his death was the reason why the seven deadly sins were framed in first place. He was supposed to have been killed by Dreyfus and Hendrickson. How is he alive? How? My guess is he was able to cast an illusion on Dreyfus and Hendrickson, making them believe he was indeed dead. Well, not only on them, but on everyone in the kingdom. Heck, if not in all of Britannia. But I guess you wouldn't need to make it to all Britannia. I guess the kingdom of Leones was enough, so that when the king of Leones knew, then everyone would know and they would have no need to see it because they would believe it. So the only ones who needed to believe he was dead were Dreyfus, Hendrickson, and the seven deadly sins. And then every other knight that came into contact with the body that was supposedly buried or anything else they've done. But I don't know. Zaratras is alive. And the name of the next chapter, Captain of the Holy Knights Zaratras. What happened? Why is he alive? How is he alive? Is he human still? Is he a demon? I don't want to say anything, but it doesn't look like he aged a day. 10 years have passed. Unless he looked like a young boy 10 years ago, I dare to say that he is a demon, but not a mean demon. I think he's a demon like Meliodas, a good demon, if such thing can exist even. I just hope that the next chapter will shed some more light on Zaratras. I hope that it sheds more light on what actually happened. Was he really killed by... Well, he can't have been killed, otherwise he wouldn't be here. I just hope that the next chapter sheds some light and that he has a way to bring Meliodas back. I don't want that he goes to him and says, "Be back to life," and Meliodas suddenly raises from the grave in a very stylish manner. I do not want that. I would like for him to say, "I know a way to bring him back, but we need to do this, and that." And then we begin a saga of "Let us go rest Sir Meliodas." Something like that. But anyway, I'm gonna leave this video here. My throat is completely sore, and I'm gonna drink some water. I've been talking non-stop for now and there's another double review video coming up, which is the One Piece video. I say my goodbyes to you for the 7 deadly sins this week, and I will see you next video.